episode of Education with an Edge is meant to create, cultivate, and inspire honest discussion about issues affecting youth. Hosted by author, artist, educator, advocate, and speaker, Jaquel Lane.
Hello and welcome. My name is Jaquel Lane, and this is Education with an Edge, the podcast that is dedicated to all things youth and children because we believe that every child matters and you should too. I am so very excited to have a very special guest with me here today, and this young lady is very near and dear to my heart. I've actually known our guest today, since I was a sophomore in high school. It was the first time that I met her. Laura Beckius is a phenomenal woman. Not only is she a wonderful mother, but she is an advocate for small businesses. She works so diligently in her community, and she is a very large part of Rotary, and we're going to have her talk about that organization and what an impact that's made in her life. And understand a little bit more about the organization as well. And I actually got to know Laura because she was a foreign exchange student in my hometown. And so welcome, Laura Beckius, to Education with an Edge, and thank you for being here with us today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor to get to see you, to spend time with you. And, I always admire you, and it really is an honor to be here. So I'm just excited to visit with you and just talk to everyone about what we do and where I am and what I do.
Well, I love you for so many reasons, Laura, but I think that one of the things that interests me the most is that, first of all, Laura has the biggest heart in the world, honestly, but I think it would be really awesome for our audience to understand and have you tell us a little bit about, you've had such a fascinating upbringing and background. And so would you just mind telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and then what your current position is as well and what you're doing now?
Of course. No, I'm happy to do it. Like Jaquel say, I'm Lorena Beckius, and I'm from Ambato, Ecuador, South America. And when I was 17 years old, I had the unique opportunity to be a student exchange. So I was able to come to Oglala, Nebraska. And at that time, there was only Wikipedia. So I couldn't do much searching about Nebraska. And the only thing that came up was Omaha. So in my mind, I was really thinking I was going to a big place with beautiful big buildings. And when the reality was that I was sent to Colorado, and I had to travel 3 hours to a completely place that I didn't know what it was. And it smelled like poop, driving through Brule. There's a big feedlot, So I was sent to Oglala, Nebraska when I was 17. And it was like the most amazing experience I have ever had in my life. I think it's pretty much helped me to be who I am today. And when I was done with my student exchange year, I went back to Ecuador. I studied business administration with a minor of marketing. And during my second year of college, I came back for a friend's wedding. Serena, you went to school with her too.
Okay.
And I went to her wedding, and I reconnected with David Beckius, who's also from Oglala. And then we started talking, dating long distance. And when I graduated from college, then he asked me to move to Omaha, and then he asked me to marry him. And after that, we got married. I worked for Verizon Wireless for 5 years there. Then David had the opportunity to move back to Oglala to manage the service department in Ford. And we wanted to have a nice family. I mean, we wanted to grow our family, and we decided to move to a small town, and it was the best decision we ever made. So now we're back in Oglala, Nebraska, and we have been here for almost 8 years. It's going to be 9 years this year. We have twins. They're Luke and Landon, and they're 5 years old. And I work for a Ford dealership in GM, Chrysler, Dodge, and pretty much I do the internet and marketing manager there and community outreach. So that's what I do right now.
Yes, and she's such a change maker. I mean, Laura, you're such a change maker in your community, and we're going to get to that. And your boys are pretty much the most and when we do the media and things for this podcast, they're the most handsome, beautiful children ever. So, and no doubt, because you and David are a beautiful couple, but no doubt Ogallala is very, very lucky to have you, and I'm very lucky to know you, and I can't wait for our audience to get to know you more. And so since our podcast is geared towards young people, your experience as a foreign exchange student, can you tell us a little bit about that experience? Obviously, it was very impactful on your life, but what made you want to become a foreign exchange student? And then how do you feel like it kind of changed the trajectory of your life?
Since I was, 14 years old, I was around always the student exchanges in Ecuador. As a third world country, the more you learn, the more experience you get to have in your life, the better you are set up for the future. And so with the school that I actually went, 98% will become a student exchange. So it's something that it's in our culture. And pretty much, like I said, since I was young, I was around student exchange. My dad was the student exchange chairman for the whole district down there. And it got me the opportunity to meet amazing kids that actually left their families and went to learn a new culture and a new language. And I don't know why I always fascinated with English. The English that we learn in Ecuador is more like British English. I learned English since I was little, all the way to high school. I even took classes in colleges. And when I came to do my senior year here, I had to pretty much forget everything I learned and just push the reset button and then just start all over again. And pretty much, like I said, I met amazing people that really wanted me to be a student exchange. And over there is really hard, like I said. We had to pass different tests. You want to make sure you have really good grades, that Rotarians. I mean, there's a lot of things for you to be able to do that. And then the only thing you're able to choose is just the countries that you want to go. Then they actually do the magic and they send you somewhere, which the best place they could ever send it was to Ogallala, because the people is what it makes me fall in love with this place. Everyone was so nice and welcoming and everything. But going to a completely different country, a completely different place, not knowing anybody, and have to learn a different language. It's something that it makes you to work harder, to try to fit, to try to be better yourself. You have to become responsible and an adult, like grow up really fast, just because, I come from a third world country, but I was very lucky that I had a maid. So when I came here, I didn't know how to do the laundry. I didn't know absolutely anything. So it was actually really nice that I got the opportunity to come out here and I had to do everything by myself. So I pretty much showed myself that anything that I really want to do it, definitely if I put the mind and effort to it, you can do it. And if anybody is out there and really wants to learn a different culture and a language, that it's the best thing to do. It's just try to be student exchange. There's so many opportunities around here that are not being taken advantage. Rotary, and there's a lot of organizations that have those programs in place. But it's just the best thing that they can actually do it. The people that they send you around, the towns that you go to, the people, like I said, the people you meet, everything around is what it makes it so special. And it's something that you will never forget. I still talk to a lot of the people that made that year so special and unique, and that I will never forget. It's something that is just in my heart. And like I said, it was the best experience in my whole life. It's what it makes me what I am today.
Well, you are seriously, when I think of someone that is not just self-actualized, but strong and empowered, you certainly are a woman that comes to the forefront. And I do totally agree with you that we should encourage young people to take advantage of those programs, the foreign exchange student programs, because going to a different culture and experiencing a different country will help you to grow and change in such magnificent ways. And that's been proven throughout your life. And, Laura, you're one of the most energetic, not to mention inspirational women that I know. And I truly believe believe that.
Thank you.
And you're very passionate about small businesses and fostering growth in your community of Western Nebraska. And can you tell us where this passion comes from and what events our audience would love to know have you participated in and are participating in, and then what's to come for you in 2021? Because I know that you've got a full calendar.
I know, I think everything comes with the way I was raised and where I come from. Like I have been saying so many times, coming from a third world country, you do see a lot of poverty, and it's really hard to help. You help one person at a time and you cannot do enough. And when you come to United States, it's such an amazing, a strong country. And I know we all disagree in different ways in politics and views, religion and all that stuff, but down to the bottom, this country is amazing to live with. And when I see a community like where I live in Ogallala, I see a lot of potential and a lot of things that we can do when we work together. And the nice thing is you can see the difference and the impact that you make in the living conditions of people and how it affects the generations to come. So it's really excited to see that. And I think that's my passion, is you can make a huge difference in the community here. And so that's kind of where everything goes, with Rotary, bring together, you make connections, meet amazing people that wants to make a difference locally and internationally. And I think that's where it came. So part of that is Rotary. Part of it is also my work. I work at Wolfato, and I do the community outreach and do events and everything. And I really do think that any business that is successful, the base and the foundation of that successful business should be based off community service. So that's how I bring both of them together. And I really do want everyone to see here in town, I work for Wolf. Yes, we do want to sell you cars, but we also are invested on this community. We care about this community. And that's why we do so much for it too. So that's what it's really cool. And what I do here in Ogallala too is I just don't do it by myself. Everything is a partnership. I can only do a little bit, but if we all work together and join like forces, we can definitely make a big difference. And so we do like diaper drives, the Thanksgiving baskets, which that last year, it was the biggest year ever. We had to buy 103 Thanksgiving baskets, and those are two big Thanksgiving baskets. And I was really worried that we were not going to have enough donations, because I request a lot of donations from people, but the generosity from the community is just amazing. And I like to involve businesses and be more like a partnership. We do the biggest school supplies in the area. So all the kids in town and Keith County can actually have school supplies. We do car washes just to help raise money for, the cheerleaders, the actual dance team. We do drive for the community, drive for the schools. We do the sober driving, where we pick people that has been drinking so they don't drive, during New Year's Eve and stuff like that. We have been part of the community block party, which is more to bring awareness about early child development. And right now we're working on the 2021 event for that. So that will be a really cool event. And you were able to be on that event the last time with Van. It was an honor to have him as a speaker. And it was such a successful event. And, there's a lot of parents out there, and this community doesn't understand the importance of early child development and how we need to make sure that we take care of our kids when they're young. And if we focus on their growth and then their development, it will get better when they are growing up. So that's something that we focus in C4K, that is Community for Kids. I'm part of Rotary, Keith County Foundation Fund, Rooted in Relationships. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm part of. But one of the biggest thing that is really cool, and I'm very proud that we started, is the Unity Project. With Rotary, one of the area of focus is economic development. And when I was the president, I decided to start a Unity Project, which it was to get all the service organizations in town to work together for a bigger impact in the community. And then we decided to do a splash pad. So it's the Coastal Park renovation, which is a brand new splash pad and an all-inclusive handicap park. And it will be the only all-inclusive park between Kearney all the way to Denver. So this will be an amazing project. It's a $408,000 project, and we are only $17,000 away from that. And hopefully this April, we can start getting all the materials so it's ready for this summer. That's hopefully the goal. But that actually is a proven fact that when we all work together, we can definitely achieve anything. And the community has been amazing to support this program.
Well, and you are, I mean, I mentioned at the beginning that you're such a change maker, but I have been to the huge event that you orchestrated. I mean, you organized all of these people. I think that it speaks to the fact that you are such a person of excellence, and you're such a change maker, and you're someone that gets people inspired to do these huge things. I mean, you kind of rattled off all these things and made it seem like nothing, but it's definitely not nothing. And I also love the fact that, not everyone is suited to live in a large city. And I think that young people need to know that there's great opportunities out there in small communities, that there are successful, super successful, motivated, energetic individuals like you that are making a huge difference. And that sometimes also, even in the communities that you're from, to move back there and to give back is such an extraordinary opportunity. I mean, just such a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely.
And thank you. I mean, I can't thank you enough for what you're doing. Another huge part of your life, and I follow you in so many of the things that you do, but Rotary has been a very large part of your life and is very near and dear to your heart. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in Rotary and how active you are now, and a little bit about the organization itself?
Absolutely. So, oh my gosh, I just love Rotary. I grew up with Rotary. I see how Rotary works around the world, and I have seen the magic of Rotary. And one proven fact that Rotary works is me, because, my dad has been a Rotarian forever, since I remember. And growing up, I remember them having different projects and involving their families to be part of it. And like I said, in a third world country, there's a lot of need. So I was able to participate in a lot of different projects that really meant a lot to my heart and made me understand the importance of making a difference and helping others and serving others, and I feel like I'm really selfish because I love helping. It just makes me happy. And, it's actually really cool when you're 12 years old, and then you're going to a really poor area, and then you're handing out food, and all the kids are so happy with the little things that they have. It just makes you realize how lucky you are and everything that you have. And I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful with God for all these opportunities that he has brought it to me. But I'm glad that he actually showed me about Rotary. And when I was 17 years old, I was the student exchange with Rotary, that organization. When I came back and everything, I was young. I didn't know if I wanted to join Rotary or anything, because there was nothing for young professionals, which now there is Rotaract that you can actually join. So they have actually added new few features. But when I came back to Ogallala, I really wanted to give back for everything that they have done in my life. And I joined the Rotary Club that hosted me when I was 17. And now I have been a Rotarian for 7 years this year, February 6th. And it has been the best thing that ever happened, because I moved back. Even I knew a lot of people when I was a student exchange 2002, 2003, but a lot of those kids moved away. But Rotary, it actually helps you to connect. It actually is the biggest service organization in the world. And that's where all the people come together and use their talents and they just to make a difference. They use their talents and pretty much make a difference locally and internationally. And that's just what it is. It could be any friends, it could be business owners, any leaders in the community. And you become to be a leader too, and doing all the stuff that you get to do. But there is 7 different areas of focus. It just depends on what we want to do. We have a Rotary Club that has 48 people. And I was the Rotary president last year. I just finished last July. And it was just the best experience I have ever had. It actually helped me to be more open to ideas, to lead with a lot of different and hard activities that I never had to deal with, and confrontations, never had to do that. So it was a learning opportunity to become a better leader too. But we got to do a lot of service organization. I mean, a lot of service. Like I said, I mean, Rotary we are people of action. We're doing a lot of things. One thing that I really enjoy doing, and it's almost done, is one of the areas of focus is water safety and sanitation. And I partner up with the Rotary Club back home in Ecuador, and we're bringing safe drinking water system to La Esperanza community, where people had to walk 6 miles to get fresh water. And you know how much impact it's going to be for that community and their generations to come, to have really safe water that here we have it all the time. We leave the water faucet running, you know, and it's just really cool because it was the first international grant that we did with Rotary here in Ogallala. And I wasn't asking the community to help me for funds. It was just more talking to different clubs around about this opportunity to help this community. And there's thousands of projects that actually help the communities and living conditions of peoples around the world, not just in Ecuador, I mean, everywhere in the world. And that's why it's so cool about this this organization, is because you get to meet a lot of people, not just here in Ogallala, not here just in the state or the zone. It's just around the world. I had people from Argentina and different countries supporting these projects that can make it happen. And the $75,000 that we needed to put that water project in place, it only took about 3 months to actually get it. And that was just networking with other clubs. And the cool thing is you become part of something. It's your family. And that's the nice thing, is when I went to the International Rotary International Convention last year, well, 2 years ago now, in Germany, I didn't know a lot of people, but they knew that I was a Rotarian. They were buying me free things. They were inviting me to this. Oh, you're a family, you're this. And it was just more like to know that people care about you and they have the same vision and the same calls to make a difference. And that's what it's all about. You know, right now in life, what's the purpose of life? You know, what's your purpose? You want to do something good in life, might as well. There's only one life. Do something good, help others. So, yes.
I love that. And I know that there will be a lot of young people and you and listeners as well who would be interested in Rotary just because of your magnificent experience. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, Laura, if you had one piece of advice for a young person today who is struggling to find their way or is just simply navigating through life, what would it be?
Oh, an advice. I'll just say, just take a moment and think about all the blessings you have. If you live here in the United States, there is endless possibilities. There's always somewhere else that there's another person struggling more than other ones. But there is a lot of resources out there that can actually help you to thrive, to get better, to actually overcome any obstacle, any issue that you're actually going through. And I just want you to know that there's always going to be help, and there's always somebody there that it will be able to help you out. Just realize how lucky you are of everything, that you're alive, that you're here, that you have a purpose in life, and change it to make a difference in your life and make an impact and difference in others. I think the best thing is just to change the way of thinking of how you can help other people. And you know, the more you help, the more you get, more happy soul, you're better and happy. I don't know. I just think just go out there and be happy. Live this life the best way possible you can.
I think what's awesome about you saying that advice is nobody lives that like you do, because I always try to tell my students that. I always say, you know, if you're feeling down, go find somebody to help. Go visit a nursing home. Obviously, we couldn't this year because of COVID, but you know, the PEP Club used to go and visit nursing homes or whatever. But you're such a testament to that helping other people is going to enrich your life. It's going to help. It's going to help make you better, but it's also going to improve your self-esteem and improve your quality of life. And so that's That's wonderful advice. Who is one person that you look up to as a mentor in your life, and how has that relationship affected your life?
One person that I look up to is my dad. He always worked so hard for my family, and I don't know, he just always was positive. He was always there for us when we actually needed. He showed me the world of Rotary. He definitely spent the time that I needed to be a better person. And he always wanted me to search for the sky. And one thing that I really wanted, it's like everything that I wanted to do was just more because I wanted him to be proud of. And I really do think he is proud. He's really proud that I'm in Rotary. He's really proud that I'm actually trying to be more on the district level and everything too, because his passion is Rotary. So right now, everything that I'm living through Rotary, he's actually living through me. Because here in the States, I have a lot more opportunity to meet more other peoples and everything too. But my dad is the person that inspired me to help others, to be involved in a service organization, to make a difference in life. And that's a person that I look up to. He's always energetic. He's trying, he has so much energy. He's like an energy bunny, but he can't stop. But he's all the time trying to work in his business, but he always have the time to go to Rotary and make a difference and help and to improve the living conditions of other people. And that's the heart that he has is what I admire the most.
Well, and I know that he is extremely proud of you, my dear, for sure. So I hope you're listening, Dad, and you could be very proud. You have, this is full circle. Okay. So, you are a change maker. You are off the charts in terms of being a community supporter and a leader. But my question for you is, you have a beautiful family and those two adorable twin boys. For all of the mamas out there, how do you juggle being a wife, a mother, and still finding time to chase your dreams and help your community?
There's a time for everything. If you want to do it, you will do it. You can be a good mom and also succeed as a business woman, as actually making a difference in the community. It's just organization, finding the right people to help with your kids, and just have that core people. And pretty much one of the biggest success for me is my husband. He helps me out a lot for me to be able to be part of that, but he knows how important it is for me. So communication is always the key. But like I said, there's no excuses. It's more, if you want to do it, you can make that happen. That's just up to you. And just trust me, doing something rewarding like this, it's something that lifts you up. It helps you better understanding how other people live, how you can impact those people. And the nice thing is, I want my kids to see what I do, because I want them to have a service heart. I want them to have a passion of serving and have a good heart, knowing that, we can all love each other. We can all help each other. If we all work together, we can make a big difference. So that's what I want. I want my kids to realize everything that I do is because I want them to be like that too. I want them to learn and get better. So, yeah.
Well, they have a phenomenal role model in you, and our listeners have a phenomenal role model in you as well. And as I said at the beginning, I'm so very, very blessed to call you a friend, and it's been amazing watching the journey that your life has taken. And you're so very inspirational, Laura, and thank you for being here today. Once again, this is Jaquel Lane with Education with an Edge, wishing you a wonderful day. And do remember that every child is our future. Please do give back to your community, as Laura said, at every chance you can. Give back to the youth in your community. And if you would like to know more about the Rotary program, or if you would like to talk or email Laura directly, her email is
LOREB, B as in boy, just in case, at wolfauto.com, WOLFAUTO.com.
And if you want to know anything about social media marketing, this girl is on fire. She is absolutely phenomenal. I'm serious. I can't even keep up with her, and I'm so very proud of her. So thank you once again, Laura, for being with us here today at Education with an Edge. We're truly grateful.
Thank you so much, my dear. I'm just honored, and you're my friend, and I'm so inspired by you because you do so much for everyone. So thank you for everything you do.
I love you
lots.
dearly. Bye-bye.
If you have a question or just want to learn more, go to JaquelLane.com. Thanks for listening to Education with an Edge,
a Hurrdat Media Production.